In other news, we've been talking about the recent outbreak of bird flu among Mississippi chicken flocks, a significant thing in this state because broilers are our #1 ag export. So, how did that come about? Here's a special report.
You might not know it, but Mississippi is one of the largest broiler chicken producers in the country, #6 in the nation as of 2024, and one of 20 that produce 93% of the national total. In 2023, poultry and eggs generated $3.52 billion. How did that come about? What makes Mississippi so involved with chicken production? We need to go back to the last century to find out. During the early 1900s, the breed of a chicken was more important than its ability to produce eggs. Poultry judges were held in high regard, and exhibitions were commonly held with awards being given to the best of the breed, similar to dog shows today. In the 1920s, crossbreeding began so commercial poultry operations could find chickens who were the best layers. Suffice to say, the old-school breeders were not keen on this trend, and some still feel that way today. However, research has indicated that crossbreeding has helped create the commercial chicken varieties we use today. Throughout the 20s to 40s, it was common for hatcheries to be on or near main streets of towns, and chicks were sold over the counter in small batches, about 10 to 50 chicks. World War II saw the U.S. poultry industry grow. However, this didn't affect Mississippi until the late 40s and early 50s. During this period, more and more poultry companies began purchasing their own breeder flocks, hatcheries, feed mills, grow-out operations, and processing plants, becoming vertically integrated. By the mid-1950s, integrated poultry companies began contracting with farmers to produce eggs and broilers. In general, the contract required the company to provide chickens, feed, and technical knowledge. The farmer provided the land, house, equipment, and labor. The vast majority of Mississippi's broilers and eggs are still produced under this type of arrangement. The Extension Service and the Mississippi Poultry Improvement Association conducted numerous poultry barbecue demonstrations throughout the state to promote chicken consumption. Poultry companies hired men to work with the farmers with whom they had production contracts. These men were called servicemen. Mississippi State University conducted schools to teach the most current technology available. Approximately 150 to 300 poultry workers attended these two-day schools. The industry matured during the 60s and early 70s. Several companies ceased to operate efficiently and were purchased by other companies. The industry consolidated into fewer, larger companies, and that is how it is today.
Sweet potatoes are a pretty big deal here in Mississippi. Also, we love them and we love to eat them. But what are the economic factors in play for those who grow them? You might be surprised.
The annual sweet potato crop in Mississippi is a unique aspect of this state. Calhoun and surrounding counties in the north of the state grow the vast majority. The city of Vardaman calls itself the sweet potato capital of the world. So, what makes this particular crop so special here? I spoke with MSU Extension Specialist Dr. Lauren Harvey to get deeper into the details.
So one of the interesting things about sweet potatoes, one of the unique aspects of sweet potatoes is almost all of the operations are vertically integrated. It's different from traditional row crops. You grow the crop, you harvest the crop, you end up selling it, and it gets sent to a grain elevator. Well, all of the storage in this case, and therefore all of the risk, is maintained by the sweet potato grower. So you grow the crop, you seek out customers, then you wash and sell the crop on demand, and then you ship that crop out to those people. But you're maintaining possession and ownership of the crop that entire time. And so a portion of that crop then gets saved from one year to the next to be used as seed for the next year. So they're completely vertically integrated operations, and therefore the risk is maintained by the grower throughout that whole time. So I like to say that growing the potatoes is really only half the battle. You then have to store it, you have to find your customers, you then have to be able to effectively wash and pack it. It's a lot more than just growing the potatoes. So the normal buyers of sweet potatoes would be your large grocery chains, Walmart, H-E-B, Publix, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, you name it, those kind of larger grocery stores. And then another very large consumer would be, and we call that fresh market. And then another large consumer would be processing. So you have companies that make sweet potato chips, sweet potato French fries, and those would be companies like McCain Foods, Lamb Wesson, J.R. Simplot, those kind of companies. And those two Those two market groups really make up the vast majority of sweet potato sales, fresh market and then processing. And then there's about 80, I want to say, at least for the state of Mississippi, it changes depending on where you are in the country, but Mississippi, about 85% of our crop is consumed as fresh market product, and the vast majority of that is consumed domestically. And then the remaining 15% or so is through processing of some sort.
According to the Mississippi Sweet Potato Council, the best potatoes should be firm, round, with fairly even coloring. Store them in a cool, dry, ventilated space. Don't refrigerate them. Cook them with the skin on to preserve nutrition, and use a stainless steel knife to cut them.